Let's be real. Family life can feel like you're constantly putting out fires, right? One second it's a fight over who left the milk out, the next it's a much bigger deal. It can get pretty chaotic, and it's so easy to lose track of what actually matters. But what if there was a simple way to cut through all that noise? Think about this for a second. Is a messy room really the same as a missed curfew? Or a tattoo? Is that on the same level as skipping school? On the surface, yeah, they all feel like problems we have to deal with. But are they truly equal? How we answer that question changes everything, and honestly, telling the difference is one of the toughest parts of being a parent.
And that's exactly the trap we all fall into. When you're stressed and emotions are high, that bad grade or pile of dirty dishes can feel like a huge catastrophe, a total sign of disrespect. So we react, we get loud, and let's be honest, we usually just end up making things a whole lot worse.
Okay, so this is where we can find a better way. This idea comes from retired clinical psychologist Lane Lasater, and his whole philosophy is about taking a step back from that emotional fire alarm and actually thinking. It's about creating a plan before the crisis hits so you can respond with purpose, not just panic.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll break down this simple two-bucket system. Then we'll look at what goes in each bucket, the non-negotiable priorities and the negotiable preferences. And finally, we'll see how this simple idea helps you shift from just reacting to really responding.
All right, Section 1, the two-bucket system. The concept here is so simple, it's brilliant. Lasater says that basically every single family issue, every argument, every behavior, you name it, can be sorted into one of just two categories. And it's that simple act of sorting that lets you put your energy where it actually counts.
And here they are, the two buckets. In one corner, you've got non-negotiable priorities. These are the big ones, the things that can cause real, permanent harm. For these, you need to take control. And in the other corner, negotiable preferences. This is, well, pretty much everything else. Values, choices, personal taste. And for these, your best tool isn't control, it's influence.
So let's dive into that first bucket, non-negotiable priorities. What exactly makes the cut here? Well, these are the true emergencies, the things that absolutely require you, as the parent, to step in and take charge for everyone's well-being.
Now, the definition here is absolutely key. A non-negotiable isn't just something you don't like. The magic words are permanently damage or harm. That is the bright red line. If something has the potential to cause lasting physical, legal, or emotional damage, boom, it goes right in this bucket.
And these examples make it pretty clear, right? We're not talking about opinions here. Things like physical safety, following the law, avoiding substance abuse, showing up for school or your job, these are the absolute bedrock of a safe, functional life. When any of these are at risk, it's go time.
And because these things are so serious, the responses have to be just as serious. You'll notice these aren't really punishments, they're interventions. They're designed to take control of a dangerous situation. Things like calling authorities or getting professional help. It's all about stopping permanent harm, not about winning an argument.
Okay, let's switch gears. We're moving away from those few, critical, five-alarm fires and into the thousands of little sparks that make up everyday family life. This second bucket is where most of our day-to-day conflicts actually live. And again, the definition tells the whole story. A negotiable preference covers stuff we might feel really strongly about, our values, our taste, our ideas about how to live, but they don't cross that all-important line into causing permanent harm. This is where you trade control for influence, discussion, and guidance.
Does this list look familiar? Of course it does. This is everyday parenting 101. Fights over purple hair, who their friends are, whether the homework gets done, their political beliefs. And look, getting good grades is obviously important, but it's not going to cause permanent damage in the same way drug use would. Seeing these as preferences, not emergencies, that changes the whole game.
So it makes sense that the tools for this bucket are completely different. Instead of taking control, you're collaborating. You're negotiating, having family meetings, and maybe most important of all, you're modeling the behavior you actually want to see. This isn't about forcing someone to do something, it's about teaching, guiding, and helping your kids learn to make good choices on their own.
All right, Section 4. This is where it all clicks into place. Understanding how this one simple act, sorting things into priority versus preference, can change absolutely everything. It's way more than just a trick for managing arguments. It's a total shift in how you see your role as a parent.
And really, that's the big prize. When you save your energy and authority for the real non-negotiables, you become a much more effective leader in your family. You're not sweating the small stuff anymore.
And by using influence for all those preferences, you're actually giving your kids the space they need to figure out who they are and get ready for independence, all while knowing you've got their back on the stuff that truly matters for their safety.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Just take a minute and think about the conflicts happening in your own family right now. Is there a negotiable preference, a messy room, a taste in music, a hairstyle, that you've been treating like a 5-alarm non-negotiable fire? Because just recognizing that difference, that might be the first step to a much more peaceful home.